Hey guys, Jamie Axon here, and I have a simple question for you. Do you have what it takes to be able to launch the next rockstar podcast out there? There's so many people right now who are not understanding and they can see the value in podcasting, but they're really struggling to go out there and have success. And I was just like this. I started a brand new podcast and I did what everybody told me to do. I went out there and I tried to get into new and noteworthy and I got thousands of downloads. You know what happened? I managed to do it. And then for 2 months, it was absolute crickets. I had downloads, I was working my butt off, I was posting all over the internet, and I wasn't getting any new customers. And I didn't understand why. And when I spoke to every podcast expert, they would just tell me, Jamie, you've just got to keep publishing. If you publish every single day, in 6 months and 12 months time, you're gonna start to have built a big enough audience that you can start to make money. But the problem was, just like every other entrepreneur out there, I didn't feel like I had the time to go out and do that, and I couldn't publish all the time without getting any results, because what would happen is, like the majority of podcasters out there, I would get bored, I would get frustrated, and then I would eventually stop. So I decided there's got to be a better way, and I went out there and I discovered something called podcast closing. Podcast closing is a method that we've been using and teaching all of our podcast students, where they can launch a podcast and leverage and use that podcast to start making money right away. And every single student of mine that's involved in this Mass Movement Summit is using this new technique. And the people that have discovered this technique, we're called change makers. And these change makers are creating platforms for themselves. And as the landscape of the online world changes, as Facebook becomes more difficult for organic reach, as Instagram organic reach drops, it's going to be more and more important for you guys to go and get a platform. There's a lot of you watching this right now that probably know that you need to do a podcast. You just don't know the best way to do it. So I'm here to tell you, instead of doing it the old way, the hard way of getting thousands of downloads and building an audience, we've got a way better way. And I want to invite you to check it out. So it's Mass Movement Summit. If you would like to be involved in our next round of the Mass Movement Summit and to launch your very own podcast, which can bring you in revenue within the first 30 days of launching, click the button down below and check out this video. I've got an amazing training to show you why podcast closing is the best way for you guys to go and launch your next podcast. Check it out.